Good afternoon, good evening, and good morning. I'm not coming to you as the gold standard. I'm coming to you as the sports-wise veteran, Tim Mooney. I want to do a little spoof on this. I want to have a little fun with it. NASCAR season's over. In my 46 years, I've rooted for 3 drivers in NASCAR. Dale Earnhardt, the old number 3, Dale Earnhardt Jr., and then in 2017, I started my fandom with Martin Truex Jr. He was the car 78. I was born in 78. He drove a Toyota. I drove a Toyota. He had a cool beard. I had a cool beard. I mean, it was all one of those perfect fitting things. So, Martin Truex Jr. officially retired from NASCAR after this weekend's race. Championships won by Joey Logano. We're not going to talk about it. Should Joey have been there? I don't know. That's not my call to make. But no, he should have been there. It was a lucky break. But congratulations. 3 championships is nothing to scoff at. But now, I've got to make, since Martin Truex Jr. retired, I've got to become a fan of a race car driver. And I've decided, you know what, I'm going to do this a little NCAA style and pick the hat I'm going to root for. So there are a couple different hats in front of here, different drivers. One thing that I will not, or a driver that I will not root for is a Ford driver. It just happens that way. I'm not a Ford fan. Our family here is not a Ford fan. My folks are fans of Fords, but that's fine. I've always been a Chevy fan and Toyota fan. I put a lot of thought into this because for NASCAR fans, who you root for is an extension of you. It shows your fandom. It shows the kind of person you are. Not in a good or bad way, but if you go to a NASCAR race, you go to Daytona, you see the fans of 36 teams out there represented by millions of people, by the thousands that are out there. And it's just, they show a lot of pride in their fandom and whatnot. So I decided I was going to do it this way. This is a little bit more fun. It's going to be, again, a lot of thought went into it. Who do I want to represent? One, it's going to be either a bow tie or a Toyota. No Gregson? No, Chase Briscoe is taking over the 19 car. You've got Austin Dillon, the legacy number 3. You've got different drivers. One of the reasons I started rooting for Dale Jr. back in the late 90s was, one, it was Dale Jr.'s son. I wanted to jump on the bandwagon that became Dale Jr. And 2, he was sponsored by Budweiser. I mean, what says NASCAR more than being sponsored by a beer sponsor? So again, as I've gotten older, I'm not 20 years old anymore rooting for that guy. But as I've gotten older, taste and stuff has changed. Things I look at change. I mean, I'm a father. I got to look out for what kind of representation I'm doing for the kids. But alas, I made my decision. Now, everybody in our house has a driver they root for. And even the 10-year-old, he's going to start rooting for Chase Briscoe, the guy taking over the 19 car. He's all about the 19, so that's going to be his. The daughter, she's a fan of Daniel Suarez. My wife is a fan of Ross Chastain because when we got together and then we started talking about NASCAR, and then I showed her the Hail Melon over at Martinsville, which is now banned. I mean, who was it? Christopher Bell kind of paid for that. But after deep thought, what kind of driver do I want to represent? What kind of fandom do I want to be a part of? I want a driver that's exciting to watch. I want somebody that's going to be part of a race, almost every race. I want to root for a driver that's going to be not controversy or anything like that, not somebody that's going to be in the tabloids for something negative. So I decided this year, starting this year, in the 2025 Daytona 500, I will be rooting for the number 1 car. My wife and I will be fans, both fans. I will be rooting for Ross Chastain, driver of the number 1 Busch car, as well as other sponsors. Because you know what? No matter what, if you watch Ross Chastain the way he drives, actually in that Daytona 500 last year, he was Ricky Bobby. It was either your first or your last on that last lap, and he tried to make this cut move, and William Byron kind of threw him in the wall. But it's still a driver that has that kind of want to win the Daytona 500. I respect that. I watched the NASCAR documentary on Netflix, and he's part of it, and just his training regimen, and just he likes to have fun. He's, I don't want to say a responsible version of Dale Jr. when he was younger, but the guy just has fun. He's a watermelon farmer from Alva, Florida, and he just loves racing. So that is my decision. I will be rooting for the driver of the number 1 car in NASCAR. I know this is a cheesy way to do it, but you know what? I've been doing the YouTube thing for almost a year now, so I'm going to stay with it. So Like, subscribe, follow the whole 9 yards. I appreciate you guys watching. This has been the Sports Wise Veteran. Talk to you later.